Morning. I have my husband back home. I'm happy about that.
And I have my honey beside me.
Yeah, he's been traveling and been gone, but we just wanted to spend just a couple of minutes this morning on mornings that just seem to make your relationship better and makes your day go smoother a little bit. I think everybody has a good ritual, not necessarily a bad one, as to what they do in the mornings. Robert always brings my coffee, which gives him like at least 10 points every single morning to even start the day.
Remember, it's just 1 point.
No, I gave you 10 for coffee every morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he makes it just perfect.
So we just wanted to share with you 2 or 3 things that we do that, whether we're traveling or whether we're, especially when we're here together, is that there are some things that brings us closer. Yeah. And it's just some simple, I call it a good, healthy ritual. And there's different ways to look at it.
Yeah.
So what do we do most of our mornings, not always perfect, that brings us closer and helps us really focus and center on what really matters in life?
Well, one of the things we do as Robert brings my coffee to me and we sit down is that we always talk about what we're grateful for. And, you know, it's just so fun to do that, to see things that pop up in our life that truly make us even more grateful than we were the day before. So we talk about what we're grateful for. And another thing we talk about is what we did really well the day before. And sometimes I think that's really important because, you know, we can get really down on ourselves sometimes if you kind of have an off day a little bit and maybe you really didn't see anything that you did, you know, well. So it's kind of good to stop and reminisce that, but also have the other partner be able to say, but this was really great what you did yesterday. So it's kind of almost an encouragement a little bit to each other sometimes.
Very much so. And I you know, through the years, one of the biggest things we've learned, whether it be ourselves and working with other people, is one of the biggest, I think, thorns in most of our sides is the self-talk, the self-doubt, and the maybe lack of belief in the value we bring to the world around us. So, and it's my experience that it starts with acknowledging that the image we're created in,
which is God's.
Yeah, which is God. And the fact that if we're, one of my other mentors, who's also very faith-based, he talks about if we're still breathing, there's a reason. And it's our core fundamental belief, you know, like our personal mission statement, which we live and do business and live life around, is to inspire people to step into their God-given talent and the power and light to create more vibrant health and abundance so we can give back. So anyway, so what Joy's saying there is God taught us a long time ago in the good book and all the other spiritual teachers throughout history, that what we focus on, we expands in our life. What we think about, we bring into our life. So the simple activity of focusing on what we're doing really well
instead of what we do really bad
and good, that tends to expand in our life, which is a beautiful thing. And then the gratitude,
sometimes that's even based on what we eat the day before, isn't it? It's like, well, yesterday wasn't a great day on that one.
Look out. So
So the other thing that we do too is we always find some sort of, whether it's an inspirational talk of some kind or a Bible verse or whatever, that we can just have a little conversation about, and what that verse means to us, and how we put it into our everyday life. So there's many things you can do. You just find what is best going to work for you and the person that you share life with, or even by yourself, and put that into your everyday life.
Yes, very much. And I just spent 10 days with some very close friends in Colorado, and they had 3 rambunctious boys, one teenager going through the typical mood swings in life, and then
whose feet are too big for the rest of them. Everybody remember that. You know, it's like they trip over themselves.
And then a youngster who was all heart. He was amazing. Cade, man, I call him. It was Reese, Cade, and Zeke. And the middle one was just all heart, all loving, and the small one was Zeke. Man, is just a ball of fire, but also very heart-centered. But every morning, most mornings, that happen every morning. Let's be real, we're all perfectly imperfect. But they sit down as a family and they go through some of these thoughts, and the majority of the thoughts are centered around teachings, to timeless teachings of our Creator, but it brings the family together, and it gives them a focal point. And it's just a beautiful reminder that whether we can gather in the evening or whether it's midday or morning, whatever it is, if you have an extended family, by all means. For us, we tend to, it's a sacred space, to be honest. Like if I'm busy in Cadillac when I'm traveling, all I have to do is call my honey, do you have a minute?
Sometimes we do it on the phone.
What are you grateful for? And I immediately, whoop, it brings me right back to like I'm sitting here and she's right beside me, whether I'm 1,000 miles away, 10,000 miles away, or right here. And anything else we do in the morning, honey?
That's pretty much it. And then for us, it may not be for you, but we always have a prayer together in the morning. However that works in your life, but that's something really important for us. And there's something about forgiveness and praying. How do you stay mad at a person that wants to pray for you? So if there's anything you're a little ticked off about, you might want to consider that one. Or if you're just really pissed off, you don't want to consider it.
Yeah,
so
and that's a good point. Part of the morning time, if something happened that you aren't, maybe it wasn't the best affirmation for your significant other, sometimes in the morning time we go back and revisit. Honey, can I ask forgiveness? And sometimes the morning, one segment of there tends to be a place of just kind of helping more put the walls down. If there's one thing that we're committed to is keeping the walls down, because at the one brick at a time, the walls can come up, and you look up in a week or a month or 6 months, and you don't even know the person you're living with. So we're committed to keeping those walls down with each other.
Yeah. And so just to keep it totally real, we have to go to the mechanic yet this morning because we have a squeak in our car that we think something's wrong. Yeah. Robert has a pile of laundry and a half that has to start. Just so y'all know, we live in the real world. The suitcases, clogs, everything's in the living room. So the sheets need changing this morning. And I actually got my contacts in the wrong eye. So to be painfully honest here, all I see is a blur this morning. So you guys look amazing out there.
There we go.
So I gotta switch this around this morning.
And we look really nice this morning. We had a time mix up.
This is not normal.
We were doing a Zoom call with some dear friends in Malaysia, and we have to rearrange the time. But
so if your hair's all over your head, there's no makeup or lipstick on, you're still in your pajamas. Normally that would be me. So,
so anyway, hope these thoughts that we do inspire you in some way to be a better hubby, a better wife, a better mom, a better papa, and much less a better leader in business. That's why we share these, because we feel like, again, we are created to serve others, and one way to do that is to share insights. Yeah.
Oh, and the kids are getting some new trees today that have to get planted, and they're not going to be held from work. And then this dirt has come in that's got to get spread from the God that's going to do that.
Life.
So it's really real at our house, isn't it, Robert?
It is.
Well, take care and have a really great day.
Take care, guys. God bless. Take care.